Hey, um, I'm wondering if anyone else saw this show that I watched earlier this week. And it's all about how they bring kindergarten or daycare children and facilitated that group in an aged care facility or where elderly people live. And it was such a good show. It was funny and heartwarming and just beautiful. And what it was is the demonstrated the profound effect that having the children come to the residents, the profound effect it had on so many different aspects of those people's lives. So a lot of those residents were really inactive, completely detached from other residents, very lonely, disconnected, and a lot of them were clinically depressed. And so they started this experiment, bringing these kids in, and just watching how the kids really came with no preconceived kind of judgments or thoughts or expectations about the residents, the elderly residents, and the way they interacted with them and encouraged them, just being human with them, encouraging them, asking lots of inquisitive questions, talking to them, engaging, being really interested in them, and also wanting to help them. So that genuine regard and reaching out to the people that they did. And how different kids gravitated very much towards specific people. It's really interesting. But I loved about it, what really hit home for me, was the underlying foundations that completely turned everything around for these residents. And they were two things as far as I could see and what I thought. One was connection, how powerful it was for the connection that they had with each other and the difference it made. That connection brought people alive. They felt valued. They felt listened to. They got joy. They laughed and engaged. They engaged with each other, not just with the children. They started to engage more with each other. And the second thing was purpose. Having those children come into that facility and those people's homes gave them a sense of purpose that had been completely missing for them. It impacted their life in such a big way. They became more connected, not just to the children that came there, but to each other. They talked more to each other, and the whole atmosphere of the place lifted. They became more active, so they were busier. They were moving more because they were more engaged. So their physical health and wellness really improved as a result. But most importantly, their mental health and well-being skyrocketed. And those that went from being clinically depressed were lifted out of that in such a short space of time through the power of connection and purpose. And that's the same goes for anything and anybody anywhere. It's the same for our teams. When we can build a level of connection and a clear purpose that everyone's together on, we create a culture and environment where people are naturally engaged. They're invigorated by being around each other. They're encouraged through the relationships. And that's the role of the leader, is to develop a level of connection, a strong level of connection, and a clear purpose. So people understand the contribution they're making and the impact they have. So for the elderly people, they could see that they were educating the children but they also could feel what they were getting back from the children. And I guess it came down to a sense of worth and value, which we're all seeking. And if we can have that in our teams, it has such a positive effect on the culture, on productivity, on innovation, collaboration, all that stuff, which is only got to be good for business. So if you haven't seen that, I can't even remember what it was actually called. It was on SBS or Channel 2, ABC, I'm not sure. But watch it because it's so heartwarming and it just speaks to the very core of being human. And we've got to remember those principles. They're people first principles and the need for connection and purpose. So try and catch it and think about how you can build that in the culture of your teams. Everyone can contribute to that. Makes such a difference. Yeah. See you later. Have a great afternoon. Bye.